Episode 4. Who do we have today?
Yep.
The leader of the Positivity Warriors, Mr. Jim Sorebo. It's an Oreo right now. I was going to save it towards the end, but I'm going to just ask him coming now.
As you guys know, I'm Mr. Positivity Man. I look at things a little bit differently here.
I have a follow-up question.
Go ahead.
James Bond was a big thing for me, as was Indiana Jones.
You just gave us a story time with Jim right there. Like
Each and every single person who's going to watch this podcast is going to learn something from it.
All right, we're live. Episode 4. Nishant, who do we have today?
Yep. Well, I would like to introduce him, but the choice of words that you use, I think you're way better than me. So I think it would be perfect if you introduce our
Man,
guest.
it's a veteran in the industry. The leader of the Positivity Warriors. You know what I mean? The Positivity Man, Mr. Jim Sorebo.
Hey guys, how we doing?
We're doing all right, man. We're just happy to have
Awesome.
you. We were looking forward to this episode. We were looking forward. We were like, we knew when we were thinking about the first few. Again, I hate to use the word guest because that's just not. I feel like this is we in your house now. Like this is your territory, being in front of the camera. So, when we were thinking about the first few folks that we wanted to have on this podcast, you were certainly, like literally, like within the first 5 seconds, the name that came to our mind. So, yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. Thank you for giving us your time today. How are you?
Fantastic. Another great day here in New Jersey, and excited to be with the two of you. So we've got kind of a global approach as always.
Yeah, no, that's really
Yes.
cool. Yes. Nishant helps with that a lot. So he's the other side of the Oreo on this planet. So yeah. Oh yeah, this is like an Oreo. It's an Oreo right now.
Yes.
Yeah, that's funny. Oh man. For the folks that don't know, please, the floor is yours. Please let them know the magic that you bring to every space that you enter.
Well, it's obviously a pleasure to be with you guys today as part of iCover. As the Chief Distribution Officer here since October of 2022, it's been a fantastic ride. But prior to that, I've been involved with financial services for over 40 years. I worked at 2 different insurance companies to kind of introduce myself. I then started and ran a brokerage operation where we wholesaled life insurance, annuities, long-term care, disability, through over 200 financial institutions, banks, credit unions, broker dealers, and we had over 6,000 agents that sold business for us. So did that for 25 years before selling to a larger conglomerate. Felt that the scalability that we were looking at would be there, technology, all those kinds of things, and got there. And after a couple of years, just recognized I was not that big company guy. And no one's fault. It was just one of those situations when you look at it and determine what the fit might be. I was blessed to find I was sitting on the advisory board with iCover, and they said, Hari and Nicole said, the 2 co-founders said, Jim, we'd like to hire you to run distribution with my connections and things of that nature. So been in the industry for that long period of time. I've also been I like to call it a giver. I give back to an industry that's been very, very good to me. I donated my time to the largest brokerage association in the country called NALBA, the National Association of Independent Life Brokerage Agencies. Over 400 agencies around the country doing this kind of distribution. Sat on their board of directors for 6 years. I was chairman of the board for 2 years for them. I also devoted my time for 3 years as president of their charitable foundation. So I'm blessed. I've done a lot of stage time speaking in front of large national audiences, in front of their annual conferences. I do keynote speaking, and also I'm a recent author of a new book telling my story and the need for positivity in today's world. And I don't know that there's ever been a time with stress, anxiety, depression being at greater heights than what it is today. So I tell my personal story of growth, what I've gone through to uh, keep me going. And after losing all four of my family members to dread diseases, um, and my bout with cancer in 2019. So I use that as the basic premise of who I am and what that has done for me. And it's been a real blessing and a real education process, certainly for me in writing the book and stretching myself, if you will. And it gives me, I think, a great appreciation for what the people do that buy our products and services. Having been there, I've seen the benefits of long-term care. I've seen the benefits of life insurance. I've seen all these things and understanding the process, and that's why I'm so energized with what iCover has done with the process, because we're fixing one of the biggest problems in our industry, and that's process. I mean, it still takes 3 to 4 weeks to buy a life insurance product. Guys, I don't know what other buying process takes that long.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we've revolutionized that by being able to do it, as we know, in 5 minutes. So
5 minutes.
the problem that we solve is huge, because so many people are still underinsured or don't have insurance for all these kinds of reasons. So yeah, let's hear it for iCover.
Yeah.
So that's a brief thumbnail, kind of my story and why I'm here, why I'm so energized and excited about being able to help change the industry. It's been very good to me and my family.
That's awesome. I man, yeah, no, every time recently you started creating these short form content for the channel, for the iCover Direct page and for the company, and you'll give us these stories and these little bits from your life that really nail every and any point that you try to make about the importance of life insurance and the value of having access and to the process right from your fingertips and being able to secure a plan and get into coverage instantly. So thank you so much, man, for sharing that. And it's always, there's so much to learn from you. Like I said, from the very first call that I had with you, and you've always given a lot of gems. So I appreciate it. Um,
My pleasure.
Man, Nishant, I
Yep.
know, you and me, our styles of conducting the practice here is kind of different. Sometimes you'll have questions tailor made for our guests. Sometimes I'll just kind of freestyle them. So if you got a question you want to lead with, we can go ahead, or we could just get into it.
Oh, yeah, I have a lot of questions. I think we might need 3 to 4 hours for that. So, well, I've known him for a long time now, and I think I would like to start with. I would love to know about your childhood and how were you as a kid? Were you a mischievous one or were you a silent one?
Yeah, my childhood was interesting. I came from a relatively small town in Minnesota. My father was a mailman delivering mail door to door. My mother was a stay-at-home mom. Two older sisters, 8 and 9 years older than myself. So you can come up with whatever stories about I was an accident or whatever you want to say on that. But my life changed forever when I was 12, when my father was diagnosed with a very rare genetic and terminal brain disease called Huntington's. And it's described as a combination of ALS, Parkinson's, and dementia. So my two sisters were away at college, and I'm trying to figure out life there on my own. So, I'm in elementary school, And I remember to this day, I wanted to be a fighter pilot. That was one of my aspirations. I wanted to join the Air Force or the Navy, become a fighter pilot.
That's new. I didn't know that. That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's
In
cool.
addition, in addition, I wanted to be an entertainer of some nature. I mean, I loved ventriloquists at that time. I
Oh,
still to this day have a ventriloquist dummy. So I also love magic. I wanted to be that magician. So I wanted to be a performer of some sort. And when I was in sixth grade, I had a great relationship with my teacher. And he said, Jim, I'd like you to lead the school play, take the lead in this play. And I was intimidated, but excited. So that started some of the fulfillment for me. He was one of my mentors at that point in time. And we maintained a long-standing relationship. But I was so much by myself, guys, as a youngster from 12 to 18. I was outgoing. I was on the head of the student council in middle school. Same thing in high school. I was involved with sports. I was an athlete on the football team. I was the offensive center on the football team. I also played tennis in the spring. So avid and all that stuff that was going on. But candidly, I was trying to figure out life.
Mm.
My father wasn't there, so I didn't have that father figure, if you will. And my mother was so tied up with taking care of him, he ended up becoming wheelchair bound. And once again, it's the combination of ALS, Parkinson's, and dementia is an insidious combination. So both the mental and the physical problems became an issue. And for a 12, 13, 16-year-old, when he starts complaining about the dining room chairs causing him to be disabled, I was like blown away. Dad, what are you talking about? That doesn't make any sense to me. I didn't understand. So I look back, I was immature. I didn't know what I didn't know, as I like to say. Uh, but I was involved. I started to figure things out. He died when I was 18, 3 months after I graduated from high school. Couldn't leave my mother. My one sister went away to Stanford University in California, go to school. My other sister went to the University of Minnesota, but I couldn't leave my mother at that time. So I went to a local state university at that point, business administration, trying to figure things out. Um, I became involved with the school. I was president of the marketing club, which is where I met my lovely wife, Kathy, on a ski trip that we co-sponsored, and that was very cool. So I started learning about that. We got married after college, and when I started interviewing for jobs, my mother told me, the strong German woman that she was, you, Jim, will be buying a life insurance policy because I've seen the benefits that it had for me, paying off the house, allowing her to go back to school to take on a new livelihood. So I ended up being told I'd be buying a life insurance policy. One of my professors sold insurance on the side.
oh,
So he and I connected in a lot of different ways, another father figure, another mentor early on. And I became interested in the insurance industry, and that became my first job. So that was kind of my growing up. And it's interesting, I still have some of those things in my mind about being a performer. Well, wait a minute, I'm doing keynote speaking.
hmm.
So I'm kind of living out some of those dreams, guys, which um, never gets old. And I think maybe you've seen me bring this up before, but the quote here: "You're never too old to set another goal or to dream a new dream." C.S. Lewis.
I love
And
that. That's cool.
Yeah.
thanks. I've lived my life that way, um, and still, dreaming the dreams because I can.
That's
So
awesome.
that was kind of my childhood.
Yeah, no, that's man, dude. Like, yo, Nishant. See, that's the thing. One of the things that like I'm looking forward to with this, as we're still polishing up these episodes, actively is like making clips from each
Mm-hmm.
video, and
Mm-hmm.
that's just man, like you just gave us a story time with Jim right there. Like, you know what I mean? Like that was I still learned quite a bit just off that one answer. So no, thank you for sharing that.
Who was the magician you grew up watching?
That another great question. I was inspired. One of the things that I did, I went to movies on Saturdays, Saturday afternoons, growing
Okay.
up.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have a lot of other things to do, so I became a movie watcher. I love the big plays. I was a James Bond fan to this day. So,
Yep.
and a lot of things that I got from those movies, I've still carried over. Um, I've got a closet full of. I've got three tuxedos. I've got a closet full of suits and other cool clothes that I got out of this. Yes, I like a good martini every now and again, so that's a carry forward. Um, the style, the all that stuff. So James Bond was a big thing for me, as was Indiana Jones. Harrison Ford, self mentor, if you will, on life and things in general. And I don't know if you know, but he's just up for I think it's an Emmy award, and he's 83 years old.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that awesome?
That is
It
awesome.
is.
And still at the top of his game. So yeah, those would be
Yeah,
probably the two
I
faves
love
from my perspective.
I love that. I was shocked when I saw that he took on the fifth Indiana Jones movie a few years back. That was that was that was very impressive.
At age 80.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's cool.
God bless him. That's really
That's
inspiring to me.
yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, wow, man. Yeah, no, that's um you I mean, like what you've been just again, like I said, being in this industry as long as you have, what changes have you seen, or what, I guess, what period of time have you seen like most of the changes occur? I mean, I know like right now, AI is a big talking point, and we that's a big central theme for a lot of the technological conversations we have within the company and stuff. But like, do you feel like now is like you're seeing things rapidly change now compared to any other time, or what's that like,
Yeah, interesting question. I look at myself as I think I am a visionary. I think I've got good forward thinking. I get energized and excited about those kinds of changes because I can see the opportunities there. But I'm going to say generally, our industry is not that way.
Mm.
We don't change quickly. You know, the negativity with AI. Oh, we're going to lose jobs and it's going to change this on the negative side of things instead of looking at it and saying, no, we're going to simplify things. We're going to be able to adopt change quicker, easier, and be more meaningful. Because as my comment was before, I mean, what buying process still takes 3 to 4 weeks? My quote, guys, is what are you pretending not to know?
Yeah.
You know this is the problem. Fix the problem.
Yeah.
Deliver a solution, and the industry will go from here to here. The insurance industry is not currently a growth industry. We're growing 3, 4%, maybe a year. Although in the United States, roughly 40 to 50% of the people do not have insurance and or have the right amount of insurance. So again, the opportunity is huge. So let's fix these stumbling blocks to to eliminate that. Am I starting to see some of those changes with AI, with some of the processes coming forward, like with iCover? Yes. Is it where it needs to be, in my opinion? Not yet.
Mm,
Not yet. The opportunity is there. I mean, as you guys know, since we started with iCover, we've now crossed over 30 insurance companies that we're doing business with, and we're still just getting started.
that's
So
right.
that's very exciting.
That's cool,
But
man.
I wish it were quicker as that visionary, uh, but I know we're making great strides to get there.
That's right. Absolutely. Yes. Um, man, I mean, companies, being founded in 2020, you joined the company 2021, 2022,
22.
22. That's right. That's right. That's right. Um, Man, yeah, and we're the time of this recording. If people are watching back, as you can see, this is 2025 now. So I mean, still 30. And you onboarded the first client, right? You helped onboard the first because
Yeah,
there was a couple years where a lot of the bootstrapping and a lot of the like just building the foundation was happening in those first 2 years. So 30 companies in 3 years, or average of 10 companies a year. I think that's super impressive, right? And I see what you mean when you say that we always want even more, but that's huge, and that's
yeah.
super cool to know that you were part of the process of that first, bringing that first company for us. So
I was blessed to be able to help, and obviously Hari and Nicole, the two co-founders, are great on their areas of expertise. I helped bring in some of the sales component, my networking, and that to help bring on the first company. We tag team to work to bring on all the others. So it's been a great situation for all of us.
yeah, no, that's awesome, man. um wow, man.
Well, I've like you've been in the industry for a long, long time, and you have a lot of experience compared to us. I just started back in 2023 December. So as a newbie compared to you, uh, I want to gain as many connections, valuable connections in the industry. So what's your secret sauce for that?
I was part of once again, I've been an entrepreneur forever, guys. So for 15 years, I was part of an entrepreneurial group called the Strategic Coach. We got together on a quarterly basis and we talked about growing a business. How do you go about doing that? All the connections, the networking, the sales aspect, all that stuff. And that instilled in me to this day, guys, to be a lifetime learner. You never stop learning. When you say, well, I graduated from this university or that university, it, it, no, that's just the starting point. Now it's understanding an industry. Now it's understanding sales. Now it's understanding marketing and how it relates to that industry. So I encourage you to, you know, find the people like myself that are willing to share these things and say, all right, Nishant, let's get you involved with some of the associations where you can learn from the other people that have been there before you. Find some mentors, talk to me, talk to the other people that have more experience here to say, all right, from a marketing standpoint, I want to connect you with so and so at this
Mhm.
insurance company and say, we'd like to learn a little bit more. Uh, what should be some of the other things Nishant should be looking at from a marketing aspect, advertising aspect here in the United States? It's different, obviously, than what might be in India. And how do we go about doing that? So, networking is a big part of that, mentoring is a big part of that, and finding those people and those resources that you can go to continually learn from. And we set up the team sharing, and Hari and Nicole are both big on this and the team building aspect. But yeah, continuing to do that, and for you and the rest of the team.
Yeah, that's cool, man. Wow. Flipped it on him, man. Flipped it on him.
Now, any questions relating to that, Nishant, that I can answer for you now? Are there any other things that you should be doing? I mentioned the associations, whether it's NELBA, whether it's Health Underwriters Association, Life Insurance Marketing and Research Association, LIMRA, another resource, getting you connected there. Any other questions relating to any of
I
that?
have. Yes, I do. Okay, let's create a situation. So, for example, I'm in a conference and there are a lot of people, there are a lot of companies and CEOs and founders and everyone. So, how would I break the ice and, you know, talk with, like, connect with someone and, you know, make sure that it's valuable?
Understanding, and this is part of the sales process I think a lot of people miss. You know, you should be selling the problem that we solve for them.
Okay.
Okay. Life insurance, guys, is a commodity. A commodity is typically driven by price. It's a race to the bottom because there aren't a lot of different features that differentiate the products, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So if term insurance is all the same, um, give me the cheapest.
Mhm.
So understanding where you can say to that insurance carrier that's in the term marketplace that doesn't, and you've done your research to find out they don't have a solution like iCover offers. So
Mhm.
for you to say, what are you doing to shorten up your delivery process? Is
Mhm.
that important to you? Yeah, Nishant, actually it is. We're looking at that right now. Well, that's exactly what we do. So, what is the problem that you solve in whatever the sales situation is, and the marketing certainly as well. What are the problem that you're going to solve there that's going to be non-commoditized instead of saying unless you're going to compete on price, but not everybody is. We're working with an insurance carrier right now that wants to expand into the insurance space. We put together a study. I did some competitive analysis with them uh, on their term insurance, their pricing versus I picked some of the top 10 insurance companies out there and to see where the pricing fell. And they had some other unique kind of features, but they got excited as we talked about the iCover process, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a difference maker. And then we looked at price, and one of the largest carriers out there was also the most expensive. So if you're going to compete on price in a commodity and seeing that they're a top 20 insurance carrier from a sales standpoint, and your price is less than theirs, and you've got a better process in what they do, that's a great starting point from advertising, marketing, solutions to provide to those insurance carriers. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Yes.
I'm gonna
So
go
go
ahead.
ahead.
No. Please, if you want to finish up your point, I was gonna ask you. This is a bit of a silly question. Did you want to? Did you like I said? I don't want to stop the flow, man. You got these gems, and I don't want to. I don't want to. So if you got something else to bow tie that with.
One other component that I'll mention to you, because I was looking at this earlier on as it relates to term insurance, because we talked to a lot of carriers about that, is looking at who are the players, who are the major providers of term insurance in the marketplace. And that's where the associations oftentimes and come in. I've got access to some of LIMRA's data, the Life Insurance Marketing and Research Association. So I've got the top 20 carriers here on my computer for term insurance. So you say, wow, how about I do some direct response to those top 20 carriers that I know don't have our kind of solution? Wow, that's great target marketing. You have a better understanding about who we can focus on, our marketing, our time, and our efforts, and bringing our solution out. So continuing to learn about the industry from a product design standpoint, from who are the major players in the different areas, And term will be different than whole life. Whole life will be different than final expense. Final expense will be different than long-term care. So understanding all that picture and becoming that lifetime learner, as I referred to, uh, will simplify a lot of this, Nishant, in your continued learning process. And the same thing for you, Rana, as well.
I wanna I'm gonna ask him this. I was gonna save it towards the end, but I'm gonna just ask him it now. What's like a horror story that you have from this, like from an interaction with either a company? I mean, obviously we don't have to divulge names, right? But like any like interaction that you've had with somebody at a conference or anyone in this industry or any representative from a company or anything of that sort. What's like a like something when I when I say horror story, like what's something that like what's the first situation that comes to mind?
Yeah, and as you guys know, I'm Mr. Positivity Man, so I look at things a little bit differently here. But um, I would say the only thing that immediately comes to mind would be just unfortunate situations and circumstances, beyond your control. Um, the sales process in this business in this industry is long, months to years. So the unfortunate situation there is at times, from my perspective, as a results oriented salesperson, is those relationships. And after a while, if you're not getting the feedback, right, on here, we've got this process. Are you ready for this? No, Jim, not yet. It's going to be by year end when we'll have a chance to look at it. Okay. Well, I'll follow up with you at the end of the year then. And then suddenly things change and I'm not forefront in their mind and they start looking at somebody else.
Hmm.
It's that constant contact that has to be there, that constant dripping on what we're doing, what's happening, so that if things change and somebody else with the quote unquote hot product comes in, they're not going to forget about us. So
Hmm.
I don't know if that's necessarily a horror story, but I've been blessed that I haven't had anything that really stands out in my mind, Rana, that would classify as horror, at least
Yeah,
in my mind.
yeah. No, that's a good thing. That's a very positivity man answer. So like you know, no, I guess how about this? Like a variant of that question. Uh, you know, is there anything as far as I guess how do I say this? Like a parallel question to that would be, is there and I know you have many stories that are very I know personal to you, but as far as like anyone else that you've seen that tried to file a claim or buy a policy, but they just something may have stopped them from doing it, and then like something might have happened to shortly after to where like they're not able to buy it anymore, things like that. I know you have stories about that specifically, but have you heard like have you is that more common than we think? Is that something that happens more often than not? Like that's something that I feel like just the years that you've put in that this I know you or I would feel as if you'd have like you've heard. I'm sure you feel like or I feel like you've heard quite a bit here and there about situations like that. So if you want to touch on that a little bit.
Sure. Yeah. Timing is everything, right? Um, Buying and selling a company, getting involved with a new line of business, timing. Same thing, buying insurance and your financial planning aspects. The thing that I always encourage people to do is, once again, educate yourself as soon as possible. Because here, schools in the United States, we still do a terrible job explaining the financial position for you as you start to take on an adult life. What's a checking account? How do credit cards work? Saving for retirement, when should I start that? Protecting myself for insurance, life insurance, property and casualty. I got to cover my car, my home, all that stuff. It's complex.
Hmm.
It's complex. So the sooner you begin, I think the better off you'll be again in that learning experience. Because if you put it off, you may wait too long and become uninsurable.
Mm-hmm.
And as I mentioned, when my mother told me I'd be buying life insurance, she didn't want to see me because I had a 50-50 chance of getting Huntington's and having Huntington's kill me. So she said, get insurance now while you're insurable, so that because Huntington's is normally an early age onset in your 30s or 40s. So if I'd waited until longer to do that, I may have become uninsurable.
Mm-hmm.
So timing can be a big component of that. Um, on the pod, my mother suffered from that, and I've mentioned that to you guys, and you kind of know that story. When she wanted to get long-term care insurance after my father passed away, after my sister also had Huntington's, and of spending the last 7 years of her life in a nursing home. So she tried to get long-term care, and she was uninsurable. Waited too long, and she had a heart issue that made her uninsurable. So we ended up having to put her into an assisted living center, which cost over $4,000 a month, and this was 15 years ago. So now that same number is over, depending on where you're at in the country, over $8,000 a month or more. So planning in advance, especially when you've got other things from a family history standpoint you might have to deal with, is a big issue. So thinking about this, getting educated again. What do I need to do in these areas is a great question to ask.
So proactivity lacks.
Yeah, yeah. The same thing, saving for retirement, guys. Start now.
Yes.
E- Even $20 a month, putting some money aside and not touching it, whatever it is, and the time factor of having 30 years into retirement, 40 years into retirement versus 10. It's very, very tough to get there.
Well, I know that's a huge problem in today's society, right? A lot of people, you get your paycheck, you get your salary, and then you just pay off your credit cards, and put, or whatever. You just we live in a society now, where a lot of people live paycheck to paycheck, right? At
Yeah,
different income levels, right? So it's uh I fall sometimes. I'm guilty of I'm like, oh, like, I'll be honest. I'll like I'll, oh man, like, yeah, that pair of sneakers look good, but okay, I'm gonna it's bad. However, I'm now actively making sure that I take steps to save and for retirement and things like that. So
awesome.
you can't stress that enough. Yeah, that's a big problem, especially here, right in America. I mean, just the capitalistic consumerism, all that, all the c words. um,
Just
yeah.
the inflationary costs of things like we've never seen before. Uh, my daughter and I went out to get some sushi the other night for dinner and got takeout. Uh, we didn't order a lot. I think we each got a small sushi serving and we got two of those each. It was $90.
Wow.
Yeah. Nishant, Nishant,
That's
that's like not even, how do I say this? Like
Yeah,
that's crazy. I'm not gonna sit here and act like that's like, oh, like that's normal. I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot. Like for sushi, that is a lot. But like Nishant, like that's here, man. It's like, and I know, man. Nishant, the one thing that Nishant loves to do is he loves to like watch like food like videos on like YouTube, like whether it's like little mini documentaries or things like that. Day in the life of a restaurant owner or some things like that. So he's a big fan of those things. So uh, in a
Yeah.
past life or in the next one, I think this man's a restaurateur for sure, or maybe in this one.
You never know this life. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah.
No, but
So
wow, that's expensive. But I would
Surprise,
love to know.
surprise, surprise me, and I was picking up the bill, of course, right?
yeah. Oh man.
Oh shit. No, like okay. I would love to know what a day in life of, like as Rana mentioned, I watched a lot of those videos. But so I would love to know what a day in life of Mr. Jim Sorebo is. What does he do?
Great question. Once again, I'm still learning new processes. For a big part of my career, I had an executive assistant. So I could delegate a lot of the administrative and other functions off to someone else. I don't have that at this point in time. And a lot of people don't have that. So I've had to learn a different process again of organization, functionality, um, time blocking, making sure I've got the important things to get done and I've got time blocked out to do those. So, I mean, I'm up 7 o'clock in the morning, 6:45 ish, and I'm off to the gym. I work out 6 days a week. Typically, it's an hour a day. Um, Cardio, lifting weights, stretching, all that stuff. So that's how I start my day. Um, then I'm back, showered, eat a good breakfast, and then I start my day. First 15 to 20 minutes, depending. I go through my emails and I go through my social media, and I typically do that 3 times a day. Start the day, around lunchtime, and end of the day. And getting so I'm not getting unfocused and running over here, running over there. Oh, I just saw this email. I got to go get that immediately. No, I've got other projects I've got to get done, and I'm allowing the allowable time that I've got scheduled for them to execute on that. So, new business development, follow up, um, responses to this, responses to that, all that kind of stuff really makes up my day. And I'm working until 5 to 6 o'clock most days. The other thing that I do try and do, however, is make sure I do plan time for me. I'll lunchtime. I'll go make sure I go out for a walk, help clear my head after I've had something to eat. Helps with digestion and also, keeps my focus at a high level. So taking care of me, and then doing the things that, in addition to the work that I'm passionate about. As you can tell, I'm a big golfer. I play golf typically one time during the week. I may go out around 5 o'clock and walk 9 holes during the week, and then I'll try and play during the weekend. Um, so I do things for me. Also with my family, I've got 2 girls. I've got our first grandchild. Second grandchild will be delivered here in the first week in August. So very, very excited, and make sure I plan for all those things because they're very, very important to me.
Wow.
So, and as I was encouraging you, Nishant, earlier on when we first started chatting, making sure you're doing stuff for you that makes you happy, that
Yes.
keeps you motivated, because otherwise, there's burnout, and that doesn't serve us well at iCover, doesn't serve well for you, and doesn't make for a great life.
Mm.
So does that kind
Absolutely.
of answer your question in general?
Yes. Yes, it does.
Wow. Nishant, that was a fire. Yeah, that was a really good question.
Well, I have a follow up question.
Yes.
I
Go ahead.
Bring it on.
What's your usual breakfast like? I always ask this around, like, what did you eat and all that. I love. I love this. So, what's your usual breakfast like? Are you a breakfast person?
I am. That's I try and breakfast is a bigger meal for me, and I try and have less as the day goes on. So I'll typically make it one egg, uh, no toast or anything of that nature. Trying to watch my carbs. Um, I've got a low calorie, high protein yogurt.
Mhm.
that I typically put a handful or two of blueberries on every day. Protein content is typically around 15 to as high as 25 grams. So that's a big focus for me. And then I throw some uh, protein rich granola that's low in sugar on top of the yogurt and as well. I have 1 cup of coffee to start to go along with that. And then after I've cleaned up and showered, I will have one additional cup of coffee. So I'm not heavily on caffeine and ringing too
Yeah.
much. But yeah, that's generally my breakfast
Mhm.
7 days a week.
That's
Yeah.
that's cool. I was gonna ask earlier, and how much like what's an optimal sleep level for someone that that moves around and gets as much done as you do, like, and keeps the energy up as much as you do, like what's how much sleep would you recommend? I know it's I hear a lot of different things from a lot of different people, so I want to know what's that number looking like for you.
According to my research and the specialists and the readings that I've done, 8 hours is kind of the minimum as a
Uh,
goal. I try and shoot between 8 and 9 hours a day. Oftentimes in bed, 9 o'clock, 9:30 ish, and then, like I said, I'm up at 7.
Oh wow,
So, yeah,
that's awesome.
um, yeah. It's once again setting these goals of what's important to you, and it's different when you're in your 20s versus as you get older. Your
mhm.
time allocation gets different, but again, taking care of you. Uh, so much of the populace here in the United States is overweight, diabetic. Heart disease is still the number one killer here in this country. So dealing with those kind of realities and planning your health around that, exercise, sleep, diet are the big three, right?
Wow,
So what are you doing to take care of you in those three areas?
wow, man. He said eight. Nishant, he said 8 hours minimum. Man,
Rana,
that's.
you should learn something, man.
I
He,
was
he puts in all nighters. Just
yo,
because
yeah,
we have this time difference, so we have to complete few tasks, right? But there's around 13 hours of time difference between us. So sometimes he pulls an all nighter, which is not healthy at all.
yeah. No, it's instead of the right thing would be like, okay, get some stuff done at nighttime with him, and then like wake up in the morning or coordinate a time in the morning to like wake up maybe a little early, so maybe get like a 7 hour sleep or something like that. You know what I mean? And then wake up, freshen up, and then sit with them and get things done, or be like Nishant here, put these notes in for me, and then let me take care of it, which we do sometimes, or he'll
Yeah.
like send me a document to look over or review. So I'll do that during the daytime, amongst other things. So, but yeah, so that so when you said that, I was like, oh man, yeah. But I was like, yeah, Nishant is gonna be like, yo, take that clip, man, and rewatch it.
I would
Wow.
love I would love to know your thoughts. Like, what was the first thought process when you first wrote your book?
Great question. I knew I was venturing into an area that I was not familiar with.
Hmm.
And one of the quotes I use on a regular basis is the school of hard knocks sucks. Learning it on your own is very difficult process. So I recognize I've never done this before, so I'm going to get the experts that have. So I contracted with a company that marketing company where we were going to self-publish because the publishing companies typically take as much as 60 to 70% of the total revenue.
Oh.
And I, unless have got great notoriety and are going to sell 1 million copies out of the box, they're not going to be interested in you. So I went to a marketing company that they had done over 7,000 books. They made it cost effective for me. They did everything from the editing, the cover design, all this stuff, a marketing plan, how to launch the book, how to deal with Amazon. All of that was part of the process that they helped put me through. took a lot of the stress off. They, had a plan. We had goals, so it made it that much easier for me. But it was a big undertaking.
Wow. Yeah, no, it's I should have had my copies, multiple. I have a hardcover and a soft cover of Mr. Jim's book, so I should have had them here too to help with product placement, but and we will plug that book at the end before we wrap up today, which will be very soon. But I wonderful book. Thank you for allowing me to have the opportunity to have an early copy to read. And so I just went ahead and I loved it so much that I went and bought it. I didn't have to because you gave me a copy already, like digitally. But I love having physical like media content, whatever. I still buy physical games. I love video games a lot, so I still buy like, I like having the case in my hand and stuff. Even though it's like they're now like essentially you put the disc in or cartridge in, and you still have to download everything. There's nothing on the disc or cartridge, so they're trying to, the world's trying to move us away from physical media, unfortunately, right? But I
Mm.
loved getting the book in the mail, the hard copy, and just reading it again, fully. I actually bought it to read it entirely in its in its physical form. So again, great book. And thank you for pouring all of your insight, which is oh so valuable, into a tangible form.
Well, again, thank you for taking the time to read it. Appreciate the great review you gave me on Amazon on the book. That was a big part of the marketing aspect as well. How do you get that? And I've been blessed to sell hundreds of books since the end of March launch, and gotten a substantial number of 5-star reviews. So I've been very blessed, and that's a big part of me, guys. I love being able to help others and seeing the satisfaction and the inspiration. And I've got myriad of stories along those lines of people that have come back to me with, Jim, thank you for writing the book. You inspired me as I went through this. Or I've had people who gifted to other people that are going through trials and tribulations in life as well. And that's very inspiring to me to be able to help.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Well, well, we would like to end with few, I think one or two more questions, and we would love to take your recommendations. So, just by talking with you and having this conversation, it looks like you're a movie geek. So, are there any 2 to 3 movies that you recommend, like that you watched recently, and they're just like not the famous ones, but something that you think that people, the viewers, haven't watched it yet, and you think that it just blew your mind?
That's once again a great question. I've seen a lot of good stuff. I need to catch up on some of the current movies as we were talking earlier. I saw the recent Mission Impossible one. I've seen all that series with Tom Cruise. Uh, that's inspiring and motivating to me. I do follow certain actors, so he's another one. And I love his couple Top Gun movies.
Ah, yes.
Uh, uh, Top Gun Maverick was awesome. Liked it better than the first one. Both very inspiring, but great emotion connected there and great learning experiences.
Which kind
So
of ties in because you wanted to fly, you know, the fighter
Yep.
jet. So that's kind
yeah,
of cool, like a cool little like like that's a cool little full circle moment right there. So
it is, and I've also blessed one of my family members. I've been blessed with 2 girls, but didn't have that boy. But my nephew, that son I never had, he and I have a great relationship, and he's a Naval Academy grad, and he's was just promoted to captain in the Navy. So he and I have a close relationship. So I maintained some of that connection through him.
that's awesome. That's really
Yeah.
cool, man. That's cool. Wow, yeah, that's cool. Yeah. I'll just shoot like a quick firing round question here is I love music a lot. What
That was my next question.
Oh man, okay. Nishant. Oh man, I love music a lot, and I just want to know what kind of music do you listen to?
Once again, I'll go a little vintage. I listen to a lot of stuff from the 80s and 90s. Um, I love Journey. I love all that stuff. Bruce Springsteen. Um, I've got all that I exercise to. I've got a buddy of mine was big in the music business, so this is probably 8 to 10 years ago. He got me the top 40 records annually for the last 20 years. So I have that on my cell phone. So yeah, I've got a huge music collection I can shuffle through and listen to. So yeah, music is a great motivator for me for positivity again. To pick you up when you're feeling a little down or to keep that motivation going. Uh, Journey, Don't Stop Believing.
Hmm.
A great song along those lines. But yeah, uh, I played in the band. I used to play trumpet when I was going through elementary and high school.
Hmm.
So
That's cool.
haven't picked that up in many years. But yeah, love music, right? Great
Yeah,
Yeah,
motivator.
yeah, yeah. No, that's
it is.
awesome. Yeah, yeah. No,
Everyone
man,
has a lot of record collections.
yeah. I'm a huge. I love all the arts, but music, man, music and video games. So sorry, hip hop and video games. So rap music and video games are like some of the. So I have a lot of vinyls, CDs, and cassettes of different rap records out there. So, um,
What's a cassette?
oh yeah, yeah, right, yeah, man. Um, wow, yeah. No, that's crazy. That is a question that
Hmm.
I So I had a I was showing. I still have a Walkman. So my little cousin came and looking at it like it's like a archaeological, like something like like an artifact, and I'm like, wow, you know. And then sad, you know what was sad? This is the sad part. I like forgot how to open it for a second because I hadn't like used it because I've now
Sure.
obviously I'm using my phone for music, and so not oftentimes it's almost I collect a lot of things. Unfortunately, I say unfortunately for my wallet, but like and unfortunately for my physical space too. There's just a lot, but I just I still love having that again, like right, and I'll still uh force myself to try to play throw a vinyl record onto the record player every now and then to listen to it in that form, but like naturally we all have YouTube Music or Spotify or Apple Music or Tidal or whatever else to play music. So it everything's on your phone. So to use a device, it just doesn't really make sense in today's day and age now, right? Unless you make the time for it. But like I was saying, I actually forgot how to open it for a second too. So it like took like 10-15 seconds. I'm like, oh, okay. You know what I mean? But yeah, he my little cousin aged me out a little bit. They're starting to call me what these kids call Unc now. I'm like, oh man. But yeah, no, Nishant, you got any more questions? I know we're gonna have to end this real soon, and I'm gonna have Mr. Jim plug the book, but that we'll leave with that. But is there anything else you want to ask him before he plugs the
No,
book?
no, no. I think we're fine now.
All right,
Guys,
Mr.
one last thing I just wanted to cover that just popped into my head, and this just happened in the last 2 to 3 weeks now that I'm still uh, trying to process. I got notified by a friend of mine that he had seen an email that I was named one of the top 200 most influential people in insurance and insurtech globally.
Oh yes, I saw that. Yeah.
I was blown away. I didn't do anything. This came out of AI, apparently. Through AI, they set certain criteria. And this was a company, a financial company out of Luxembourg that did this with another company called Fabicon. And I started doing some research. So this came up,
Let me
and
go ahead and I'm gonna give
and
you.
this is the most recent. I'm number 5 out of the top 200 creators in insurance and insurtech on LinkedIn in the United States. Number 5.
Wow.
That's major, man.
Wow.
Then
That is major.
number 36 of the top 200 on LinkedIn worldwide that are English speaking.
Wow.
Number number 36. When this first came out, I was 155. So I don't know what I'm doing, guys, to improve this, but and then the final one that I'm tracking, I'm number 63 out of the top 200 in insurance and insurtech overall in the United
Wow.
States.
Man, and that's I'll tell you what that is. It's the consistency, right? Of you just
Yep.
being in the people's eye and just
Yes.
making you make so many really really neat videos right there from your desk, and you'll it's every time it comes up on my timeline, at least like it's a joy. I know Nishant and I both we will see. I mean, your stuff is always has high engagement, so it always shows up
Hmm.
towards the top of our feed every time. So I mean, that's what that is. That's the work that you're putting in, and even uh, that's I know Mr. Huddy. Uh, he's like a big component. Like he talks about like, yo, like make sure you're consistent with LinkedIn. He always tells
Yep.
Nishant and I, Nishant's a lot better at it than I am, and I need to certainly allocate and make the time to do that. But you're also somebody, Mr. Jim, that always keeps up with the content on LinkedIn and putting out videos and stuff. And yeah, forget posts and photos. You put up videos, man. You put like a lot of your every. I think majority of your content is videos, if not.
Yes.
I almost feel
Yeah.
like every piece of content that I've seen from you is a video. So like, like yeah. So
It's either from his studio or it's from, like, I've seen videos where he's on the beach running in the morning and just shoots.
dude,
I'm
I
like,
haven't
wow.
seen that. That's crazy. That's
Oh, you should. You should.
yeah, that's cool, man.
Yeah. So no, that's from a business standpoint, that's branding.
Hmm.
That's something that we at iCover, I think, can continue to take advantage of to say, well, Jim, our chief distribution officer, is recognized in the U.S. and globally in the insurance and insurtech world. So you should be talking with us, right?
Mhm.
So
Yes.
because it's that third party credibility is much different than I say that I know what I'm talking about. If
Hmm.
somebody else says it, it's much more powerful. But yeah, thank you on the book side.
Oh yeah, of course. The
Um,
floor is yours. We're gonna roll out the web
yeah,
for you. There you go. Please let the folks know where they can buy your book and yeah, read your story.
yeah, yeah. Thank you. Quickly, Amazon is the number one seller of books, like 75%. So being on that platform was crucial. And as you said, soft cover, hardcover, Kindle, Audible, all those versions are there. I did the Audible recording. That was, again, a learning experience. But in there, we talked about a little bit about my story, but some of the more important factors is that positivity outlook. If you've got it or can develop it, can add 7.5 years to your life expectancy just by having a positive mental attitude. I mentioned earlier that the number one killer in the US is heart disease. You lower the risk of the number one killer of heart disease by 77% by having a positive attitude. And they say, what does that have to do with anything? Lowering your stress level. That's where so much of the heart problems come into play. So if you can do that, that's one of the other things we talk about. I talk about, well, I don't know how positive I am. In here, I give you a positivity score. And here's a freebie for the people here watching this.
Oh
The
wow.
QR, the QR code will allow them to go in and answer the 10 questions and get a national positivity score. So I encourage, the listeners here to do that, or certainly to get the book to do that. So the other thing I'll encourage is I talk about a positivity workout. Each and every day, after I work out physically, I work out mentally for about 5 minutes. I start with starting my day. Where do I have gratitude? How blessed am I in so many of these different areas that I'm happy about? I've got a fantastic family. I've been married for decades. My lovely wife, Kathy, my two wonderful girls, my first grandchild, more coming. My health. I've been through cancer. I fought that battle, and I've got that gratitude. It puts a smile on my face, celebrating every year. Uh, my birthday's in August, so I focus on that, and I'm happy that I'm celebrating another year of being here on this earth. So that's my positivity workout after I've gotten my butt kicked. I didn't get the sale I was looking for, or some other issue, some minor situation. Somebody cut me off driving today back from the gym. Move on, Jim. That's not important. You're not going to change it anyway. So that's some of the stuff I talk about in the book and why positivity. I give you stories on there are a number of different sports analogies, the stories that they've been through. It wasn't always great. Michael Jordan is one of those situations. His father was murdered. A lot of people didn't know about that. He was cut from his high school basketball team initially because he was too short.
Mhm.
He obviously didn't let that stop him and his mindset. So I talk about those kind of stories. And once again, give you the reasons why positivity is so important and how it can make a difference in your life.
Got
So that's kind of my summary, guys. There's a lot of good things there, I think, and so I've been told by people like yourselves. Um, and once again, my way of giving back, which is a big deal for me.
Yeah, man. No, thank you so much again for making the book accessible in all these different ways. I think I'm gonna wanna. I've it's in my like to do list to check out the Audible version because that'd be cool to that'd be a cool way to essentially reconsume the content of the book and the way that you kind of want it to be inflected in, right? So uh, really cool, neat stuff. Thank you. Yes. I think we can, Nishant, when we post this video, we can put the link in the description,
Yes,
perhaps.
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that'll be essential. So, yeah, Mr. Jim, thank you so much for your time today. And we really do appreciate it. It's, I know we allocated this time block to have this, and I knew that I was like, man, is there enough time? Because like, there's just so much that can be talked about, and I know we love to listen to you. So again, thank you so much, man, and yeah, hopefully this will be up sooner than later, so we'll be
Yes.
able to share this everywhere with everyone that wants to watch it. So yeah,
Thank you so much.
It is Nishant, Rana, my pleasure today being with you both. Once again, we've got a great team at iCover. If there's anything else I can do for either one of you, I'm there for you. We're building something of great significance here, and it's teamwork like this that makes a difference. So
yeah,
keep up the good work, guys.
man,
Makes a difference.
thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. All right. Take care, everybody. Eh, your friends don't like Shah Rukh Khan?
No, they like Shah Rukh Khan. Like
Okay.
some of them do, but me trying to enact him
Oh yeah. Oh man, imagine Shah Rukh Khan on the iCover podcast, man.
one day,
Yeah.
one day,
Hey. But
definitely.
and hey yo, we didn't have Shah Rukh Khan yet, but
We got
we
the American Shah Rukh Khan.
Oh man, Mr. Positivity Man himself. We
Yes,
just wrapped up our episode with him. Nishant, what were your thoughts on the whole thing?
I feel positive.
Yeah, I'm
Like
not the word.
for the past 2 3 days, we've been in continuous meetings, and we've been working. We're sleep deprived,
Yeah,
but I think after talking with them, after interacting with them, uh, there's just this vibe with him, right? He
yeah,
just entered the meet and we're like, wow, we just had a smile on our face.
yeah.
And don't forget, an hour before that, I just woke you up. I
That's
called
right.
you.
Yeah,
Right. You were like, but
yeah, yeah,
then you were smiling the whole time. I was smiling the whole time. We
yeah.
asked him about everything from his personal life to his professional life to how many hours of sleep he gets to his favorite breakfast to
That was a good
his day
question.
in life. Every fucking
That was
thing.
good. Yeah,
Please beep it. But
yeah, yeah. Oh man. Yeah, no, I uh I thoroughly enjoyed the way we carried the conversation through from the questions that you I mean all the questions that you had, just the way like it was very um like how do I say this? Like it was very centric to insurance at first, right? The conversation, and then we moved it towards him, right? More him, like outside of work, essentially. So, um, so that was really neat the way we the questions that you asked, and I mean the way you do. This is only episode 4, and the way you I mean, like it's crazy from the last like the just the way you segued and the way you asked the questions and the way you like a lot you felt like a natural this time. I mean, we've already had really good, we bounce off each other really really
yep.
well already, but the way you did it today, I mean, it's like you already can see just how much better, or how much of a better grip we're getting at this whole thing.
Hmm.
If anything, I feel like we switched places, because today I was like, man, like I felt like I was like stuttering a lot, or like like saying the same thing a bunch. I was like, man, but yeah, you did really good on that, man. I was Thank you so much for just having some really good questions to ask, and also segueing it as masterfully as you did, man.
I'm just learning from the best. That is
Hey,
you.
man,
No,
yeah,
like, yeah, I felt the same, right? Because it's still very new to me to have long conversations in English because it's not my mother tongue.
right,
But yeah, like compared to episode 2, I think episode 4 was way better. And I kind of came prepared, but I kind of knew Jim, right?
yeah,
I've known him for a long time now, so it kind of helped me, break the ice way better. So
right, yeah,
I love the conversations, and I'm definitely sure that each and every single person who's going to watch this podcast is going to learn something from it, who's going to take away something from it. All right. So,
yeah,
and it's
yeah,
pretty rare to see someone in this generation to stay positive all the time, right?
yeah,
To be optimistic in life, because it's very difficult. It's so toxic these days. The work culture, the work life balance, and it's it's pretty messed up. But for someone who has been in this industry for such a long time, and to stay positive and to stay optimistic, and I think you need guts for that. You need to be really strong.
yeah. No, truly, and for someone to have gone through all the things that he's gone through, man,
Mm-hmm.
like he says these things. He's gone through so much in life, like some horrible, horrible things, or I mean, just rather like a lot of really, really big challenges that would break people, right? Like that really, and to have overcame them, but to also have such a positive, right? That's his word, a positive mindset, and to almost talk about these things like in a way where it's like, yeah, it's no big deal. Which when it really is, these things are not to say that they aren't a big deal to him or they haven't had a great effect on him, but to really still not let it, you know, uh, take him off the trajectory or the track that he set himself on it's inspiring, it's amazing, and it put a battery in I think both of our backs. You know what I mean? So
He is definitely the positivity warrior because for a normal human being to stay positive after all these challenges, it's difficult.
yeah,
You might question, you might start questioning your fate, right?
yeah, yeah,
But yeah,
yeah, man.
it's fun.
But yeah, excited to figure out who our next guest is going to be. That's going to take some. I think. I mean, there's so many different directions we can go in. So that's just something that you and I just have to kind of settle on and figure out. And I think that you and I had the idea to maybe choose someone outside of the industry for the next one, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Um, so it'll be cool to see who we end up picking or who we end up talking to. And then if there's a scheduling conflict with those folks, then we could, or that person rather, uh, whenever we figure out who it is, there's an array of so many great people that we could just talk to in our industry that are partners with us, that work with us, or that we're friends with, or that we're connected with on LinkedIn, or that we've met at a conference, or that we've talked to in a meeting, virtual meeting, or whatever. So, there's, I know, like, Mr. Huddy was like, man, like, you'll never run out of we have a list of, all these people. So, so yeah, there's always that we could rely on. But I think like we what we've set out to do, right, in the beginning was to like kind of sandwich, or how do I say, like, layer episodes with just people from different industries and stuff. So we could always like have like us guests from the industry, us guests from outside the industry, us guests from the, what I mean, like,
yep, 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 yep.
so, no, I feel like that might be a cool format to have. We'll see. So
Guys, we're still figuring it out, but
yeah,
you'll
but
you maybe I think after 10 or 12 episodes, you'll understand the format
yeah,
and get used to it.
yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, no, we hope y'all enjoyed that episode. Man, sometimes I forget. I feel like I'm just talking to Nishant, but at the end of the day, we're talking to y'all. So we hope y'all enjoyed this episode, and please like, comment, subscribe, and share if you feel like there's anybody that could benefit from this conversation, or even just like enjoy the video itself. So um, do all those things for us, and we'll do so much more for you.
Absolutely.
All right. Catch y'all, man.
All right, bye, guys.